Hi all, this is your brain coach Imran. I hope you're doing great. The topic I've chosen today, it's a critical topic. The topic is drug addiction. It's a public awareness video I have decided to create for all of you out there because this problem I'm going to talk about, it's more or less everywhere. You talk about any country, you talk about any place, this problem exists. Now, what is drug addiction and why do people do it? Number one, people in their early ages, they start this off probably when they're in the school or they're in the college. That's the time when they started, and from there on they get indulged into this habit. Now, first of all, we need to understand that we are human beings and we have one thing that is called free will. Now, what is free will? That's a difference between us, the humans, and the animals. Why? Because we have a free will and we have this mind, a brain, and we can decide that what do we want and what do we don't want, right? You can say yes to something or you can say no to something. Now that's totally upon us, right? Now, the first thing is how it all starts off. It all starts off with a puff of cigarette. Now, when you're a student or when your kid or when your child is a student, he or she may say that I wanna, go to a party or I wanna spend a night at my friend's place. Now that is the time where the parents need to take control of, and you need to keep your eyes open because it has been seen that the parents, they don't care about what their children are doing, and from there on this thing continues until we face the consequences, right? So there are a lot of drugs. There are so many kinds of drugs. Students especially, they take those drugs, and the consequences are so serious because there are so many families out there, thousands of families who are affected by this problem. Okay, it's actually a curse. Now, why I've decided to make a video on this, because I hear about so many cases, we read in the newspaper around us. There are so many young people who are into drugs, and we need to take them out of this habit. Now, collectively as a society, it's our responsibility to take an action against anything and everything which is against our values, which is against our society, and which is killing us. So, drug addiction, okay? God has given us health, God has given us everything, and we should be thankful to Him. We should be taking care of our health. Taking drugs, you know what it means? That you don't like your health. I mean, you are a blessed person if you are born healthy. And you are a blessed person if you have a brain to think. You are a blessed person if you have a family to take care of. You are a blessed person if you have parents who care about you, who love you, your siblings, your friends, and a lot of other people whom we work with. Now, when you start off the drugs, what happens is it starts off with a cigarette. You move on to the next step, a heavier drug, then the next step is a heavier drug, and eventually a person gets drug addicted. I have seen families, literally I have seen families and people who are engaged in the hospitals, who are engaged in the rehabs. Why? Because their children, their kids, they are in those hospitals, they are in those rehabilitation centers, right? And why we face all these situations, because at first hand we are not able to stop when our child or when your brother or anyone who gets into this problem. So what we need to do, first thing, we need to keep an eye on our children. We need to keep an eye on, our neighbors, your friends, anyone who's doing that. As soon as you get to know somebody is into the drugs, you must inform their parents. That's your ethical responsibility. Being a responsible citizen, that's what you're supposed to do, right? So what you can do is you can always inform their parents that, okay, I got to know that your son or whoever he or she is into drugs. I've seen him taking drugs and all that. Number one. Number two, if you get to know of any dealer who is selling drugs, what you need to do is you simply need to call the police and you need to tell them, okay, I know this person, here or there he is, or I found him in this car with this number plate, or I found him on this particular bike, that was the number. So by doing this all, you can play your part in the society, and what will happen is that we can somehow will be able to control what is going on in regards to the drugs, right? And I would like to stress upon the fact that we all are blessed. We are born with a health, and any person who is not healthy or who is sick, he or she can feel what it feels like when you're on the bed, when you're hospitalized, when you go frequently to the doctors, and when you have to pay the bills to the doctors. That is the time when you realize that what health is. So this is the time you can realize that God has given you health. God has given you a brain to think. You've got a family. You've got friends. Okay, and the life is ahead of you. You just need to plan it. You need to have a goal. Well, my opinion is that people get into drugs when they give up, when they are hopeless. So number one, do not be hopeless. Okay, I want everyone out there to be a hopeful person who has a goal and who wants to do something in life, because we are born with everyone is born actually with something which is not in another person. You might have a skill, you might have something which you haven't explored yet. So all you need to do, you just need to explore yourself. You need to talk to yourself, and you need to realize that we being humans, we are special. You are a human being and you are on the planet Earth due to some reason, right? So I would suggest not to waste your life and just to realize the fact that somebody depends on you. By getting into the drugs, by not realizing that what you're doing, you are hurting a lot of people. And I've seen eventually when the drug addicts, when they fall sick or when they go to a rehab, their parents, their siblings, or their family, they are in a huge trouble. They even have to sell few things to bear the expenses of the medication. They have to lend money from a bank, or they have to lend money from someone else, and eventually the consequences are very, very dangerous. So wherever you're listening to this video, please create a self-awareness and create awareness among your family, among your friends, that whenever you see somebody who is into it, try to play your part and do something about it, okay? Because we live in a culture and we are civilized people, right? And when one family or another family is into a problem, the whole ecosystem gets affected. So we need to understand that we live in this ecosystem, and the ecosystem could be damaged by things like these, by things which are not good for the society, things which are not good for the structure of the society, and we really need to do something about it. So today's message, that's for all the people out there who really want to get out of this. Please try to get out of it. There are so many drugs out there, especially I've heard that people come to you and they will tell you that, okay, I've got this drug, and if you take it, you wouldn't be able to sleep for so many days, and you can study better, and you can get good grades, and stuff like that. So students who are actually in a race to get good grades, and they want to perform well, they tend to take that drug. Why? So that he or she can get good numbers. They can stay awake for like 3 days, 2 nights, 3 nights. That is the reason. So what you need to do is, you do not need to take any pill, anything which is given by you for the first time, because it's always for the first time. You go first time, you do it second time, and then you go on. So there's no full stop to it. So all you need to do is, you just need to stop yourself for the first time. If you keep yourself restricted from doing it for the first time, you can stay away from it for your whole life. Okay? And my advice is, please take care of your health and take care of your family. And whenever you see such stuff, inform the police, and even you can take help from your friends and family. So it's a public awareness message, a video for everyone out there. If you think this is helpful, this message is helpful, please share the video with others, with your friends and family, so that we can get away from this curse. Okay? This is your brain coach Imran. I hope you like the video. I'll see you next video. Bye bye.